welcome back to the XLNC Winter Invitational Games. We've got for game number 2, B-A-R, Boosted Animals Reborn, taking on Team Cyrano. I think I might actually even, I didn't check this, but let's see here. Animals Reborn, save. Can I do the whole name? Yes, I can. Check that out. With the new graphic layouts, that gives me the opportunity to use a lot longer names. I still don't think I'm going to be able to use the Dunk Master Varus or whatever it was from Briar, but it's still going to give a lot longer names, so that way when we're doing Tuesday nights and Thursday night castings, if you guys want to give me longer team names, you are more than welcome to do that now. What's going on here? Hold on a second. Winter Invitational Live. There we go. Fixed it. All right, cool. I think we're about ready to go. Let's go through the players and their champions. Wraith, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Let me get back to that page real quick. XLNC Winter Invitationals. Who are we shoutcasting for this one?
Boosted Animals Reborn on the blue side and Team Cyrano on the right-hand side. I'm going to go ahead and roll through the players and their champions for Boosted Animals Reborn. We've got Experiment 626 in the top lane, Mike Oxmal Bros in the jungle, and Mlak with that mid lane. Look at him, Grand Master showing up. Justify with that diamond in the bottom lane, 80 carry role, and Applause, the shot caller and support coming in for the supportive role.
All right, and for Team Cyrano, we've got Rain 9 in the top lane. What the heck?
Have fun!
Zeru Hibi in the jungle. Wow. Hwang in the mid lane. Piku in the bottom lane, 80 carry role, and Alohi on support. Good lord, those names are awesome. We'll go with
Hwang is one of my favorite names.
I like Hwang, but for Team Cyrano, that's all of your players. And are we about ready to get into this match?
Yeah, we are. It should be starting up shortly, but we do get a little bit of time to talk about the strong champions and players of these two. For me, one of the things that I love most about both of them is their overall team cohesion. The fact that they play and communicate as a team. There's a lot of talk back and forth and trying to figure out where to next move their champions, where to take that pressure in different lanes. Particular people that stand out to me as strong is going to be Justify in that bottom lane 80 carry role. He's one of the streamers that was streaming on Friday night, so I could see some of their play style, as well as Experiment 626 may not decimate the top lane, but he can definitely hold his own. So, very excited to see how they do against Cyrano, who showed up on a Tuesday night as one of the best teams to rotate 80 carries through the lanes and make use of those turret platings that give you that 260 gold when you're able to take those off. We'll see if they can do that this game.
Yep, and I believe somebody saw the bad Caitlyn in the bottom lane last time. Gonna take that completely off the table. But the Lucian gonna be locked in, probably the preeminent 80 carry on this patch. That along with the Ezreal are two of the strongest. But the Sup as well, while not show commanding performance, he is still an S tier top laner in this patch. And look at that, imagine that, the Urgot gonna be coming through. Decent counter to that Sion as we saw in the last game. But the Camille in the jungle is something we haven't seen in a while, but she has been oppressively powerful, seen throughout pro play as well as much in the high elo. The thing is she can just come in the jungle. If you don't have flash, there's really no way to escape her post 6. You come out of the fog of war with the hook shot, and then just immediately ult them, and then they can't get away, even if they have flash.
And during the seeding games on Friday night, Cyrano actually took Camille twice and won with her twice as well. So they are currently 100% win rate when it comes to this tournament with that Camille. For the side of Boosted Animals, they have a 2-win on the Scion, and so it was actually taken away. Cyrano steals it from them, grabbing that in their first pick, as Nami is their 2-0 support as well. We'll see if Applause wants to go on that Nami once again. Very good at setting up team fights with that ultimate. And we'll see if they decide to go for it, as it is available after the second round bans.
The Elise, that's another pick that I really want to talk about. With the buffs that have come through in the last 2 or 3 patches, she's jumped up even more. The cooldown reduction helped her out a lot, but really what's been pushing her over the top is that Dark Harvest that's been so powerful in the preseason. She's just so strong with that extra burst damage and the stacks that come from it. So I'm going to be looking forward to seeing if Malak on the Elise can really show out. Hovering of the Ahri, another very powerful pick. Vigar a little bit lower on that tier list, but still pretty powerful, especially in toward that late game, giving scaling options if the game goes long. As it could, because there's some tanky champions for Cyrano. Scion and Braum coming through. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think, Applause, that picking an order necessarily matters when you guys are using that pro draft, so it's all good whether they pick an order or not and trade it around. No worries there. Another stat that Otter gave us from the Friday night games, Lucian was a 95% ban rate. He was only not banned in one game, and that one game was played, or 95% presence. He was banned in almost every single game. So he is going to be showing up. There was that 100% win rate Justify has with him, but it was only one game. We'll see if he can take on this Braum Ezreal in the bottom lane from Cyrano. Braum, one of those nice champions, throws up the Unbreakable, can absorb a lot of the pressure many times over. I've seen him use that to absorb an entire culling out of that Lucian. Also excited to see in this game, this is the first time we actually get to see Lissandra played, as she was banned out in the last game. Her new passive is so interesting to watch. It could really change the way team fights work when it gets to the later stages of the game.
And of course, the single target lockdown from this team, from Cyrano, is absolutely obscene. I mean, Camille ult and Lissandra ult, just these point and click. Okay, you're not going anywhere. I don't care what abilities you have. Cleanse, I don't care. With Camille ult and then Lissandra ult, I mean, Vigar is picking up that cleanse for good reason, just against the Lissandra. But if Camille comes in for a gank, Lissandra drops ultimate, it's over.
And I love the fact they've got Scion to set up as well. You got high mobility on so many of the champions from Cyrano. Technically, every single champion either has a super speed in like Scion just coming charging in, or Haps, Camille going over walls, Lissandra's Claw, Ezreal's Arcane Shift, Braum's Stand Behind Me. So many of them are going to be able to hop around and use some really good mobility, and most of them actually will get you out of the Vigar stun wall. So there's some pretty good opportunity to actually avoid getting CC'd by that, which is one of Vigar's main strengths when it comes to the teamfight stage of the game.
Yeah, definitely. Now, they do have the dominance of the Lucian Nami in that bottom lane, though. As we saw in the last game, the power that can come through from a bottom lane winning and just crushing in being that far ahead between two members. Of course, you did also have the Zyra, who was in the position to one-shot the enemy AD carry, as we saw in a couple of different scenarios there. You know, not so from the Nami, hopefully not. If Israel's getting one-shot by the Nami, he's probably a non-factor in the game, let's be honest.
Well, that's one of the things I like about Applause's support, and she did go 2-0 on that Nami during the Friday night seeding games. The major thing that it gives her as a passive support, she can just sit back, throw out some heals, throw out a couple bubbles, which she's really good at landing, but it gives her the opportunity to keep an eye on the overall map. see where those players are rotating to, and make those calls for the team. Very good about doing that, as well as that ultimate so good at setting up for Elise, which we haven't really talked about yet. Not a major pick in the meta currently, but still hyper strong, especially when she can land that cocoon early on in the game. But opportunities for Elise or Urgot to close the distance in some of those early game skirmishes.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, Elise is one of the power picks right now. S tier on the champion rating lists at the moment because of the Dark Harvest that has been prevalent throughout the whole meta, and it's going to be the Electrocute though, taking for the burst. So a little bit of a question mark there, but I'm sure it'll go. It's more consistent, and definitely more powerful in that early game. So,
well, a lot of the Dark Harvest, you can see no one taking Dark Harvest this game because it has hit that double, if not, triple nerf.
Four.
So, 4 nerfs. Yeah,
nobody in this game really uses
nerfs.
it very well. I mean, Elise would be the normal one who would actually take it, but nobody on this team actually procs Dark Harvest well, with the exception of Elise.
Yeah,
I kind of like the snow animation on this opening here.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to semifinals, game 1 between Boosted Animals Reborn and Team Cyrano. And I was about to jump into the game, but you're still enjoying the new zoom around the map. I'll let you enjoy it all the way until its very end, because when we start the game with an immediate pause, you guys are going to be able to enjoy the map view in its full entirety. There we go. We're into a pause, which gives us some more time to analyze these two teams, see what's up with them, most especially Vigar versus Lissandra. Talk about this matchup in the mid lane, because Vigar, I mean, late game is just a monster, but if he gets hit by Lissandra ultimate, I mean, you can't press R if you're not moving or touching anything.
Yeah, that's the thing. Lissandra's not going to be able to burst out the Vigar, or at least not in most circumstances. But the other thing that you have to realize is that I'm expecting jungle presence from this Camille. When you're a jungler, really what you want to look for is lanes that have a CC that can back you up, so you're looking on your side for somebody who has some starting CC, some way to lock them down to guarantee your engage. And then secondarily, you're looking for an enemy lane that has very little mobility. Ding, 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 Lissandra, CC powerhouse, free engage. And then on top of that, you have Vigar, who once he burns his cage has really no way to stop you. And if you have that level 6, the ultimate coming through from Camille, Cleanse isn't going to help him. Secondly, you have that Lissandra ultimate, which can negate the ultimate from Vigar. As soon as that comes out, if Lissandra has quick fingers, she can just ult herself and dodge it. So this is definitely very Lissandra favored lane, I feel like, both in the poke department. Of course, scaling, Vigar's going to have the advantage, as always.
All right, first Drake of the game is that Mountain Drake. Never anyone's immediate go-to Drake. However, still really good, especially when taking plates off of those turrets pre that 14-minute mark. And both teams, once again, playing safe. It's a best-of-1 semifinals, so they don't want to do anything too crazy. However, I'm really hoping to see some crazy level 1s when it comes to the finals, as it is a best-of-3. Gives the teams opportunities to really try some new stuff and some strategies that they may not otherwise be willing to risk, as you do have at least one loss that you can lose when it comes to those finals and still win the tournament as a whole.
Yep, and the aggression coming out of this this Lucian Nami lane is something that I'm expecting to see a lot of coming through, because there's really no way for Braum and Ezreal to kill Lucian and Nami, barring a hopeless misplay or jungler intervention. So I'm wanting to see Lucian really go ham and deny Ezreal as much CS as possible. Maybe freeze outside of his tower after getting an advantage and make Ezreal step up super far.
All right, Lol Mom, thank you for that follow. I appreciate that. If you want to join into any of the Shoutcasted games that we do on Tuesdays and Thursdays, hit that notification and keep that on. You'll be alerted when the stream goes live, and you can come join in some of the crazy awesomeness as MLAC going to continue to harass down Hwang in that mid lane, who neither of them started that Dark Harvest, something we've seen on mid laners before, instead going for just those health potions. And Vigar with a pretty nice CS lead early. We'll see how many Lissandra can clean up underneath the turret.
Yeah, Malak is definitely giving it to the Lissandra in this early game, but you're seeing, you're going to see that turnaround, I think. Now, once again, we were saying lane advantages are definitely playing a part, but it all comes down to individual mechanics and play in the end. So if Vigar plays well, he still can play through this, and especially if Elise gets a strong gank off right here.
Here comes Camille. We'll see. Or not Camille, it's Elise. I'm sorry, you're correct. As Elise Cocoon is going to miss, and that's one of those critical pieces from Elise where Camille has a bit more of a... not necessarily high skill cap on the engage. As long as you have enough range on the second half of your hook shot, you can get a pretty good engage early on. Hwang having to use the claw to get back to the turret as he was caught inside of Vigar's snare or stun potential. I did used to know the name. I'm actually going to, because I know he's going to be dropping it a lot, I'm going to remind myself of that. Event Horizon. It's such a simple name, and yet it sounds nothing like what he actually does.
Yeah. It's the name... Oh, never mind.
All right, Aloha in that bottom lane throws up Unbreakable, but Applause still going to get some damage. Nice bubble on the Ezreal. He's still finished the Arcane Shift, though, so not going to take too much damage. The thing to keep in mind on this Ezreal is where is his mana at? Once he's out of mana, he's going to have to back and get that tier. So we'll keep an eye on how much CSing he's able to do between now and when he gets mana starved, because he eventually will get mana starved.
Yeah, and there's a thing that you can do versus an Ezreal. It's kind of a point of diminishing returns, though, if you can time it really well. If you can keep Ezreal in lane for a really long time, stretch out the laning phase, and keep him from backing, past a certain item breakpoint, what Ezreal ideally wants to do is shove in, and then if he can, Ezreal has terrible wave clear, but if he can shove in, get an early back, and grab tier right at that 750 gold mark. If he can't do...
Okay, I thought there may have been a bit more play with Braum jumping forward like that. We do see some action, though, on the enemy side jungle as Mlak and Experiment 626 going to find out the Camille. She wants to hit the Blast Code immediately into the Event Horizon from the Vigar. This might be First Blood. She's stunned up. She goes down. First Blood over to the Elise as Lissandra going to have to take the claw to get to safety.
Yeah, First Blood to Elise, a big deal considering...
Hey, and Aloha going to engage in the bottom lane. Can they find the stun onto Applause? Perfect flash, avoids the CC, and gets the bubble onto Aloha. So Braum going to have to burn his flash to get out as well. Ezra low on health and low on mana. Going to have to play very safe to keep CSing in the bottom lane.
Yeah, the thing is, though, if Lucian had just focused down all of his damage onto the Braum, who was ignited, very easy kill to take down. He did end up... Usually in that situation, you do want to focus the Ezreal, put your damage onto the damage dealer to keep you from getting turned around on. But with Braum being so low there and having the Ignite committed to him, definitely an easy kill with how overextended he was.
It was nice of him, though. He burned a lot of potions to get back up to fairly good health, and being that front line with that Unbreakable, it means that Ezreal can stick around a little bit longer. But you can see kind of what you're talking about with that Lucian. He's shoving the Ezreal in, getting a CS lead. Ezreal going to have to play really, really smart underneath this turret to try to collect as much CS as he can. But with Lucian backing away, looks like he won't be down too far before he's able to get his first back.
Yeah, and the thing is if you can keep Ezreal in lane for a long time, what you're doing is you're denying him that early tier back, and then you're denying him stacks. So every minute you keep him in lane further means that he's not going to hit his Muramana power spike for another minute into the game. So it's a little bit of give and take and strategy. You might be stronger in laning phase with an item, but you got to ask yourself, is the advantage I get by getting this item worth the advantage that I take away from him by denying him the stacks on tier? So it's just it's just kind of making that decision for yourself, knowing your champion and knowing the matchup.
With that first blood over to Mike on the Elise in the early game. That is going to be 1,000 gold lead so far for Team Bar, starting off well. But at 8 minutes into the game, we've seen bigger leads, and it's not going to mean that much, especially as the rest of the game progresses. I really want to see what Huang on this Lissandra can do now that she's hit that ultimate. She can maybe move around the map, make some plays with it. M-Lock getting a bit of damage down. Event Horizon stuns up Huang for just a moment, but she is able to avoid that Comet for the moment and get some decent harass damage back to the Vigar.
Yep, Huang at a bit of a disadvantage here. An assist going over to that Vigar as well as a decent CS lead. I want to see this Camille commit. Like, I really, really want to see that happen because that's their guaranteed just blow flash and keep dumpstering them every time your ultimate is up. But I haven't seen her even hover toward mid. Hold on, caught out in the jungle. Camille taking some damage, but the blast cone is going to allow her to get away.
Yeah, one of the nice things about Camille, as we talked about early game, is that mobility. Very hard to truly lock her down. Blast Cone going to help out with that as well. Cullen committed in the bottom lane. There's that Unbreakable from Braum. Absorbs a lot of it as the Ezreal dropped to about half. We'll see if Wang decides to do something. Uses the ultimate, the cleanse from Vigar. She's still going to go in with the claw. Roots up the Vigar, who flashes as Camille takes a lot of damage on the backside. Calm trying to escape as he's able to do that. The blue buff is going to give him tons of mana, but it's not going to be enough. And he eventually drops Lissandra, picking up a revenge kill.
Yeah, Lissandra there. I know the Vigar was holding on to that ultimate, waiting. He needed one more Q to bring it through, but Lissandra played that gank a little bit screwy, waiting a second to commit that ultimate. Baiting Vigar toward that top side would have allowed Camille to really take part in that gank rather than being a solo 1v1. It would have guaranteed a kill.
Definitely get assist gold as well, which can matter when it comes to the early game. Camille finishing off a bit of items that Caulfield's Warhammer, getting them backwards, as well as a Skirmish's Saber. First Drake going over to the side of Bar after the jungler and mid laner had to recall. A lot of that off of the Lucian and Nami, who have been overall winning the pressure in the bottom lane. So with that Mountain Drake, we'll see what else they can take, especially as Urgot continues to build up a CS lead against Sion in, this seems very familiar from last game. I don't know, but I feel like Sion and Urgot may be regular top laners this tournament.
Yeah, we might be seeing a theme here, but yeah, Sion and Urgot definitely really strong picks in the top lane right now, and you can guess who's supposed to
Oh, wait, Vigar going to be set up. There's the ultimate from the Camille as well. Calm not going to be able to go anywhere. However, he's got a lot of damage back. The ultimate is still committed. Wang goes down. Calm picks up a kill in a 1v2 situation.
Wow, the outplay there, and the misplay by Lissandra for taking a tower shot, giving over a kill, and the blue buff back to her opposite number. That gives the advantage back to the Vigar.
Oh, wait, with Alicia as well, we're going to see an Event Horizon into a Cocoon from the Alicia. She doesn't even need it. Just flashes forward, jumps down, takes out Camille as well, making that a 3-1 lead for the side of Bar. Wait, Lissandra wants revenge? Okay, so I already commit the claw, but decided not to go more aggressive than that.
Yeah, there was definitely the potential for, if she goes too far forward there, for the Elise to re-engage and there to pick up another kill. I had somebody tell me that League of Legends, it looks really complicated, but really it's just a game of counting. If they have 2 and you have 1, 9 times out of 10 you lose. If they have 3 and you have 2, 9 times out of 10
soldiers
you lose.
march
So
on.
even if they are low, especially in the early stages of the game where cooldowns are long and damage is low, a 2v1 is not what you want to take, unless of course there's a turret involved, and then you might get a special kill donated over to you like Vigar did right there.
Vigar able to outplay even in the 2v1 situation. Thank you, Tyler L, for the follow. Appreciate that. You're welcome to join in any of the cast games Tuesday or Thursday as we open games to viewers that we shoutcast for our viewing entertainment, as we have about 1,500 gold lead for Bar at the moment. They were able to win against Storm fairly quickly in the last game during those quarterfinals, and against the Cyrano in these semifinals. They are the #1 powerhouse seed, though, coming into this tournament. It was assumed that they were likely to be able to take it all the way to the finals. The question is, though, as the underdogs, can Cyrano rally together and to find a win against the powerhouse of Bar in the best-of-1 semifinals? Camille taking a little bit of damage, or sorry, Lysandra taking a little bit of damage, as we're actually going to get the chase in. There's that ultimate by the Nami, though. The flash is going to make sure. Wait, hold on. Braum comes in, throws out the ultimate. Still not going to be enough to save Lysandra. Aloha going to be dropped low, forced to flash underneath the turret, and now Camille can't get to the turret in time. Hook shot not going to be able to come through. In the meantime, Justify burning plates off of this bottom lane turret, and Piku in trouble, throws out the ultimate. It's a touchdown as it flies between the two members of Bar. Touchdown, I meant field goal, as the Scion ultimate not going to do that much, and Cyrano is just buffet lining champions into the enemy team's hands. Another beautiful bubble by applause gives them the early 13-minute ace. Rain 9 doing what he can, but the bottom lane turret still going to fall. Plates going to the entire team of Bar. Turret is gone. First turret gold, and Bar just blew this game wide open.
Yeah. Wow, Bar way out in the lead right now. It was even, was close, and then Vigar rotates down to the bot lane. Elise catches out the enemy jungler. CC falls in between towers right there, and then champions just start dropping one after another. And it's a huge 8-1 kills, 6,000 gold lead for Bar at this phase of the game as the Drake is starting to spawn. That's going to be a Mountain Drake initially, and now an Ocean Drake going over to probably the side of Bar, unless you get a really cheeky steal away right here.
And I just cannot understand that Scion ultimate committed. I mean, you already had a 4v1 situation in the bottom lane where you're talking about a game of numbers. A 4v2 isn't going to do that much. And that entire time with that ultimate, or that teleport from the Scion, even ultimate committed, Urgot just burns down the top lane turret. He's going to be moving on to the second tier turret as well. Looks like Cyrano, though, is going to try to make a play around the Drake. We'll see if they can commit to this. The Nami ultimate going to hit 3 people, locking them up and holding them in position as Cyrano tries to get into battle lines around this Braum. Unbreakable really going to be the key to them trying to get out of a really bad situation. They give up pressure around the Drake, and that means Bar has all the time in the world to take it if they want to.
Yep, definitely. This is just going to be an Ocean Drake taken straight away. No contest. The Ezreal is going to come through, but not find anything.
Minor contest. That was like a 0.2% effort contest.
Yeah. That's, you know, you get points for, if you got points for trying, they would get low marks.
All right, so at this point, with the situation being as rough as it is, go ahead and make the point that you were going to make, and then tell me, what can Cyrano do to really get out of this, besides just the unbelievable complete ace or something ridiculous? Because at this point, barring a just really good series of picks, they're going to have a hard time. As Lysandra, wait, hold on, you're going to have to share that afterwards, as Calm going to be rooted up for a moment by Huang, but they decide to call it off. The ultimate from Scion's committed. The Rift Herald's already down. They're not going to be able to stop Elise from picking it up. The ultimate from Camille used onto Elise. Holds her in position for the moment, but Elise has got pretty good amount of damage. The leg sweep from the Camille going to slow the Elise down, and they get 1 kill back. However, they still lost the Rift Herald.
Yeah, Rift Herald going over as well as a kill right there. But the thing about, and you were asking, how are they going to come back into the game right now? And I think the best way that they're going to come back into the game is doing almost exactly what they just did. Using the Elise ultimate and the Lysandra ultimate in tandem to take out key members of the enemy team. They can't play 5v5. They're too far behind for that right now. But choosing a target, then the name of the game right now is wards. Look at the map. Who has the vision? Where's the vision? look at all those blue wards on the map. Look at the red wards on the map. I count 4 red wards, maybe 5 on the map. You've got 4 pink wards for the, or pardon, control wards for blue side right now. There's no way that you can fight into that kind of vision. Knowing where the enemy team is allows you to set up picks, and when you're behind, picks are the name of the game. Especially when you have this much targeted CC. They need to get vision control back first, and then they need to make picks.
And that's really what it comes down to, rotation of pressure. You need to know where the enemy team is to know where to move. And Cyrano, for the past 5 to 8 minutes, has been playing from behind. They're the ones that's been tailing Bar everywhere around the map. Bar goes to the Drake, Cyrano has to leave. Bar goes to the Rift Herald, Cyrano has to respond. They were able to get 1 kill, but that is a small consolation prize. And that Rift Herald is still sitting in the inventory as they maybe are looking for an engage. The bubble, though, going to stop Huang from going in. It's a 2v4 at the moment as the rest of the team trying to come in. Huang still pretty tanky, trying to get out. In the meantime, though, Calm takes out Ezra with a well-placed ultimate. That's all he needs. Huang going to drop as well. 2 members down from Cyrano. So they are going to have to run. Camille doing what she can to escape on the bottom side.
And meanwhile, they should have a couple of members. Yeah, Camille going to suicide into this tower, but doing the smart thing, Lucian pulling off of that chase and moving up to take and spawn the Rift Herald and take towers. Objectives are the name of the game here. Kills feel good, feels like you're in the lead. But objectives, Mlac doing the right thing in the mid lane, taking towers. Urgot, right thing in the top lane, taking towers. And you've got the star of the show, Shelly, crashing into Nexus towers right now.
Cyan ultimate gonna miss. He's actually gonna be stopped, though. Bubble from Nami not quite gonna land, but the Rift Herald still drops that bottom lane inhibitor turret extremely low. We'll see as the rest of the fight breaks out. Huang being dropped, can't do anything. No passive available this time around as Pico trying to get damage he can from this side. Rain 9 has been taken out, so he's gonna punch down the Vigar and unable to do that much more. The ultimate from Camille is committed. Justify a hit by the ultimate from Ezreal, but still alive. The teleport coming in from Urgot throws out the ultimate. Wait! Did she hookshot cleanse out of that? That is a sick play, but Piku's still going to end up losing this inhibitor turret. The arcane shift and a flash gets himself to safety for a moment until Lucian flashes forward. Justify wants the Ezreal to go back to the fountain, so he makes sure she does. And now Camille stepping forward, the only one here to defend, as the rest of the team was completely cleaned off of the map. The inhibitor turret going to go down, as well as that inhibitor in the mid lane. Inhibitor turret low, not quite finished off by Experiment 626.
And while that was a little more even of a fight than it looked, or than it should have been, considering the game is 14-3 right now, the thing is, there were 4 turrets taken in course of that. Top lane, middle tier turret, top lane or middle lane inner turret, and then bottom lane inner and Nexus, and
Inhibitor turret.
Inhibitor turret. God.
And the inhibitor itself. And this is where Bar's strength comes in. They make you pay. Every time you think you get a little bit something, they get a lot more back. Not only did they get all those turrets, a couple of kills as well. It was practically an ace by the time the inhibitor went down. They're also going to pick up the Ocean Drake, and you can see them just on a steamroll. This is what a snowball looks like. They're going to move in and head straight for the Baron. I see no reason why they shouldn't immediately start it up, as that Camille is a level behind, and everyone from the side of Bar is just so far ahead in gold.
Yep, no Baron baits, no trying to get people to come in here. They're just brute forcing it, and they have to go right now. There's no stopping right. Oh, here it comes.
Oh, Cyan ultimate committed. We'll see if they can do anything off of that. Once again, he CC'd until he drops. Nothing else coming off of that. On the backside, Wang having to run away. Experiment 626, 1v4ing. Still gets the ultimate off. Takes out the Camille. The Braum ultimate going to knock up 3 members, but Piku's been finished off, and every single member of Cyrano is just being burned down. This is basically, at this point, you could say, surrender. Not quite. That wasn't the pun that I was looking for. As one of the Nexus turrets is dropped, a middle inhibitor is dropped. They're only clearing it on the way to the Nexus itself. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your semifinals. Game 1 victory for Bar as they will move on to the finals.
Yep, Cyrano going to be taken down in record time right there. 22 minutes on that game right there. Insane game time. Bar just got a small lead in that jungle, and it was a snowball from there. Particularly want to shout out Mlac and Mike Oxmal Bros on this Elise, as well as TWTV Justify on the Lucian in the bottom lane. Very well played between those three members. I have to give Experiment credit for that last team fight. Good lord. 4v1, still managed to get a kill, and the fear almost a double and turn the fight right there, even though it was kind of already determined. Well played, and that snowball was scary to watch. We'll be watching Bar to see what they do if they make it to the finals.
Well, they definitely have made it to the finals. The question is, who are they going to face off, as Dumbledore's Army and Arisen Esports are currently working through their pro draft. We actually have a little bit of a minute to talk about them as they are moving forward. Yes, it's a new rapper, like MC. It's Mlac instead. Mlac coming in with the new hot drop of mixtape. But, okay, Dumbledore's Army versus Risen Esports. We didn't get to see Dumbledore's Army take on Team Pauses only. However, with that victory, they're going to be facing off against Risen Esports. I feel like it could be similar to what we just watched, where Risen Esports, overall, a decently strong team when it comes to rotations, but Dumbledore's Army is just going to have the players that are going to outmatch Risen Esports.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I thought you said that Risen Esports won.
No. Risen Esports beat ACP, but okay, yeah, Dumbledore's Army is facing off against Risen Esports, and I'm saying I feel like the next semifinal that we're about to watch could be similar to the one we just watched, where Cyrano overall is a strong team, was coming into the tournament, however, was unable to take the victory because Boosted Animals Reborn just had the individual mechanically advantaged players, and that means that potentially Dumbledore's Army could be in a similar situation where mechanically their players just outplay Risen Esports and they take the victory. We'll have to see. We have yet to actually watch the game.
Definitely a possibility.
The Camille escaping the Urgot, yeah, definitely was a pretty amazing sight to behold. From this game, I do still want to talk a little bit more. It was the pro draft from the semifinals number 2 is still taking place at the moment. One of the things I liked about this on the side of Bar as a whole was the fact that Applause held the ultimate for very tight positions. Multiple times threw down that, I believe it's called Tidal Wave, down jungle paths where there wasn't much opportunity to escape. I know as a support main and as heavily playing Nami last season, I tended to throw it down mid lanes, throw it down rivers, or these more open areas where people could either just sidestep it or even flash and safely get out. Whereas Applause on this Nami was really good about making sure to get high value after throwing out that ultimate. And what I really am excited to see is whether or not the team that faces off against them in the finals decides if Nami is worth banning, because she currently is 2-0 total tournament on this Nami. Justify also really going big on this Lucian as well. 6-0-4. Their bottom lane might be worth just banning out.
Definitely. Focusing some bans down there would probably be the wise choice. I'm looking to see if Reeves is the receiver of a few bans in the mid lane as well. That's usually what ends up happening whenever people play against him.
All right, guys, we're going to go to a very quick break while the next game is set up. We'll be right back, but don't go anywhere. And if you have any hot takes or predictions for the next couple of games, feel free to drop them both in the chat or on Discord. I'm actually going to drop my overall tournament predictions on Discord here shortly, as I did my own fun pick'ems after seeing the bracket laid out. We'll see, though, who it actually will be in just a moment. Applause says, I'd appreciate some bans. Tired of Nami. Well, I can see why, though, you play the Nami nonetheless. Guys, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere as we move on to our semifinals game number 2.